guys, today I'm going to be showing you how I make my fashion illustrations using Photoshop and Manga Studio. So first I grab a picture that I really like of a model in a really good pose, and then I just put it in Photoshop. Illustrations tend to be more like exaggerated, and you know, all the good parts are absolutely exaggerated to the best they can possibly be. So what I'm doing here is just stretching her out a little bit, leaving her body the same size as it is, but I'm just making her taller and I'm stretching her legs really long. This is done a lot in fashion illustration, and if you want your illustration to look like the traditional type of fashion illustration, I highly recommend you do this. I'm now working out how to stretch her neck. So what I actually did was I cut off her body and made that a new layer, and now I'm just moving the original layer up to create to make her neck look longer after I've stretched out her body. And I didn't stretch her actual torso too much, just a tiny bit, and I haven't touched the size of her head at all because I want her features to remain the same. It's just her body and particularly her legs I want to stretch a lot, but you shouldn't mess with the proportions too much, like I said, apart from the legs. So I'm just merging those layers now, and then I'm going to go in to filter liquify and just fix up the neck region of my lovely model here. See how it looks really weird? So I mean, I don't really have to do this because I'm just going to be tracing over it anyway, but this just makes it a little bit easier for me later. So I'm just nudging that in a little bit with the finger tool, I guess you'd call it. I don't know what that's called. Nudge nudge, not too much, just make it look smooth. And everything else is fine as it is. She's got an amazing body already. Those legs look ridiculous. Keep in mind, I know she looks ridiculous like this, and she will, because she's a human. Humans don't look like this. But this is for fashion illustration purposes, so it is going to be exaggerated. I do want that exaggerated, long-legged Amazonian goddess look in my illustrations, so this is what I'm doing to achieve that. And this is done all the time, guys. This is not something I made up. This is done by everyone who does fashion illustrations, basically, pretty much. I mean, you don't have to do it. I'm not saying you have to do it. It's just what is generally done. So now I've just popped that picture into Manga Studio, and I'm just sketching away around her body, around all her beautiful curves. I'm just laying down a really basic foundation outline at the moment. I'm not being too careful because I'm going to go back and fix it all later, and I won't show you all that because this video will end up being 10 hours long. No. And I have sped this up to 400%, by the way, just, you know, otherwise this would be ridiculously long, and I know you don't want to sit here for that long and watch this. Maybe you do, I don't know, that's up to you, but this is just how I did it. If you're wondering what those big black circles are that appear every now and then, that's my hand sitting on the screen. So I'm using a stylus. I'm using a not a graphic tablet. I've got a tablet PC, and so I'm just using my stylus directly onto the screen, but when I sit my hand on the screen, it sometimes picks up my hand and it'll leave like that, a big black smudge on the screen, which is really annoying. So just keep in mind that's all that is. Yeah, probably hands are really tricky, no matter, even if you are just tracing around an outline of a human. I mean, it makes it a hell of a lot easier if you're tracing around an outline, but seriously, they're so hard all the time. So you're probably gonna get a bit bored watching this bit, sorry. that smudge has shown up this time. Awkward. That was absolutely an accident. Please disregard that. Awkward. Yeah, so just being really pedantic with the hands right now. I mean, I know hands are hard, but I do like to do them right, and I like to have them look nice. I'm a little bit of a perfectionist with hands. Yeah, so just moving on to the face now. Trying to get her head shape right. It's a little tricky when she's got so much hair. That's obviously not really the shape of her head, but it doesn't matter too much because I'm just going to draw a hair on it later anyway. This is just, you know, getting the foundations down. And this is where I actually decided not to draw her face just yet. I'll do that on a separate layer just in a minute, because I might want to change her expression, or I might want to, I will want to give her makeup on a separate layer as well later, so I decided to do them separately, which I think is a good choice. Faces are, I'm very particular with faces. So here we go. And I actually do an okay job first off with the eyes. I mean, they're a little derpy, but they end up looking pretty good. The mouth was a lot harder. Usually it takes me ages to get eyes, you know, looking okay, but it's pretty happy with how they turn out just first off. And, you know, adding big lashes always helps. Always helps to hide any little mistakes you might have made. And I'm just trying to get that sexy pout going on now. She's showing some teeth, which I haven't really drawn teeth a lot, but I really wanted to keep them in there because I actually think that's kind of sexy. So I was just trying to get it looking right. And I decided not to draw each individual tooth because she ended up looking like I don't know, some kind of monster. Don't draw the individual teeth. It never looks good with something like this, I think anyway. Now we're just doing her beautiful long lustrous hair. And yes, I am very pedantic with hair as well, as you will see. But I think it's worth it. Hair makes such a big difference with how a person looks as well as an illustration. You can change so much with how something looks just by changing the hairstyle. So I really did try to capture the essence of a, you know, just a raw, pure goddess of a woman with long, beautiful hair just flowing in the wind. And I think I captured that pretty well, I must say. And there we go, pretty much done. So now I'm just going in, checking all my layers, turn the opacity right down on the body so I can just close up all the shapes of the hair. Otherwise, when I try to color them in a bit later, you'll see why. If you don't close your shapes and you try to color something in, it'll just fill the whole screen up with color, and it's annoying. So yeah, the best way to do that is just draw in the basic hair you want first, and then just close your shapes. You can always change the opacity and just hide them. And what I did was I just hid the edges of the hair in the already existing lines of her body. Just fixing up all my little mistakes. And she's pretty much done outline wise. give it a little bit of a test. How about brown hair? And oops, see what I mean about, well, that was the wrong layer actually. Make sure you close your shapes as well as select the right layer. That helps. Giving us some whites in our eyes, some eyebrows on fleek, and yeah, see what I mean about closed shapes. Now I'm gonna go in again, close that bloody eyebrow, and fill it. Oh, wrong layer. There we go. Give her a little bit of eyeshadow. Beautiful. Well, she needs some clothes, but you know, you get the picture. You get the picture. Ooh, purple. So that was how I start my digital fashion illustrations. Hope you liked it. Leave me a comment if you did, or if you'd like to see anything else in the future, and keep a lookout for part 2 and 3 of this video series. I'm going to be adding some clothes to my naked mannequins, croquis if you will, and I'm also going to be adding some shading. So keep a lookout for those, and I hope you enjoy them, and I'll see you later. Bye!